Hello there, Sarah from 17 once again. This is some Titanfall 2 multiplayer gameplay, and this is a video titled Why I Hate Playing Solo. So I have played competitive multiplayers for a lot of my gaming life. I've competed in various different video games on the online formats, and the one thing that never changes, and I always think it will, is this concept that playing on your own in a team-based game is in some way going to be a viable thing. And in a lot of games it can be. In a lot of moments it works really well. Titanfall 2, you can have those games where you will stomp everybody and you will literally lead your team to victory. But for every game you have like that, you also have a game like this, where I'm going to be busting my balls off on this match of Complex with my Vault on Titanfall 2, which I have not played in 6 months, so it's a different game now. I'm very rusty, but I'm jumping in there, I'm having some fun, and I'm going to try my best, because I'm one of those players that when I compete online, I try hard to win. I always try hard to win. I don't care if you kill me 1,000 times, I'm going to try to fuck you up, and I'm going to try and get that victory. And that's what you're going to be witnessing in this video. But when I played games like Halo with friends, and then I tried to play that game on my own, Halo was one of those games where that was so team-based, you just got romped a lot of the times. When you played Call of Duty in the early days, I think it was a lot easier to do well, but I think that's just because, you know, people didn't know the game so well, so you could kind of run Call of Duty on your own and it wasn't much of a problem. But even then, you would get those teams where it was impossible to win, and you would bust your balls and do everything you physically could, and you still couldn't get that victory. And Team Fortress 2 is a bad example, because Team Fortress 2 is about as team-based as it gets. But sometimes on Team Fortress 2, you'd get those players that were really, really good. So you would be okay. You could run a silly class, or you could do, you know, some crazy scout gameplay and have some fun with that. Because you'd have some competent soldiers or demo men or a really good spy. Like, as funny as it sounds, Team Fortress 2 is one of those games where it was probably easier to run solo than this game is. Because it seemed like, I don't know if it was like the climate of the players was just of a higher level. And on a lot of shooters nowadays, it's such a mixed bag, isn't it? You have, on the one hand, you have the competitive matchmaking that some games like to use, which can sometimes be hit and miss. On the other hand, you have the games that just randomly put people together and you get 10th prestigious stomping on like level 1 people and so on and so forth. And then you get something like Titanfall, which is a mixture of a lot of things. This is one of those games where it's so weirdly inconsistent with who you fight. On one map, you'll be up against a bunch of people and they'll not know how to shoot Titans down. They'll not really understand how anything works, and it'll be you'll feel a little bit bad when you start stomping them with whatever you're doing. And you're still having fun, but it can't be fun for that person because they're getting bodied, and then you look at the score at the end and they didn't get any pilot kills and they didn't get any Titan kills and they got a couple of minion kills, and it's like, he's probably going to sell the game now. And then on the flip side of that, you have the people that do know what they're doing, that rock over 20 plus kills and have a really strong game. It's kind of all over the place, and this footage that you're watching was from a session where I had about 12 games, all solo. And in those 12 games, there was 2 good players I came across. Everybody else was kind of just your average Joe. And for anybody who's watching this and thinking, wow, Titanfall looks really, really fun, you know, I've been wanting to get into this game, but is it too late? Is it dead? You know, will it have too much of a learning curve? That kind of idea. I really don't think it will, because everybody's still learning in this game. I do believe that it's because there is so many facets to what's happening during a match. There's so much chaos, there's so much up and down, there's so many tiers to the gameplay that's happening at once. I'm about to get fucked by a Monarch here, but I get the detonation, throw the arc grenade, and then get back into cover to hopefully start messing around with, oh no, I run into a shotgun. Never good. But the amount of people that I come up across that are obviously still trying to learn the game is kind of insane. And some of these people are quite high level as well, and they've kind of got the setups that work for them. But you can kind of tell that they're only playing Titanfall on a single tier, and you'll notice that a lot when you watch this. Of course, you paid money for this video game, play it how you want to play it. But I would advocate looking a bit deeper into what's available to you here, because there's so much to this. And a lot of what you witness when I play is people generally assault rifle, cloak, kind of moving very slowly, treating it like S&D in Call of Duty, and you'll get a lot of success playing like that. but there's so many tiers to what you can be experiencing more in this game, and one of them is, of course, the movement. The movement is one of those things where I can move around all these maps perfectly when I'm in a private match, but when I'm up against actual humans and shit's happening and it's kicking off and there's chaos, my movement goes to shit because I have to focus about killing people then. And it's one of those things where over time you'll get better over... Oh, by the way, did you see that? See how it says it killed me? I just crushed myself with my own Titanfall while I was climbing into my Titan. I'd love to know what the fuck that was, because I've never seen it before, and we needed that to win this game. Because if you look, we're losing big time, and I'm trying my ass off, and I get the one thing that could turn the tide of this battle, and I get fucked. That is really bad, Respawn. You need to see whatever that was and fix that fast, because that's really bad. The only thing worse than that is when you call it in on this map, and it comes off the map. I've called Scorch in on this map, and he was behind the dome shield. He magically found his way to me. I don't know how he did it, and I'm glad he did, but I couldn't get to him because it called him in off the map, which is really preposterous and stupid. But the movement is something that I think a lot of people really should try to explore, just to give yourself a little bit more of an edge. And don't get me wrong, guys, moving in this game is really hard to do. It's so enticing to just run and gun, you know, just to keep yourself moving through, being aggressively defensive, which is one of the best ways to play, because then you're never getting caught with your pants down. But this is Titanfall. If you want to play that way, there's plenty of other games that afford that playstyle immensely. You know, it's one of those weird things where there's so much that the game offers that you don't see a lot of people even remotely touching. And it's things like the anti-Titan weapons. If you're playing this game and you don't realise what the anti-Titan weapons do, you have to change that. Because not only will they give you a ton of points, and will they help you build your own Titan really quickly, but they help the team. They help everything. Like, even if you're having a terrible game and you can't kill another human being, you can damage a Titan. You can help the team get rid of that Titan, and maybe help one of your teammates or yourself get a Titan in. Because the power struggle in this game is very dynamic, and it shifts so quickly, and the momentum that you can get on one of those shifts is astronomical. As they do a wonderfully laggy execution here on this... is that a Ronin or a North Star? I couldn't quite tell. I think he was a Ronin. He was moving pretty quick. Like, you'll notice, you'll have 4 Titans and your enemy team won't have any, and then all of a sudden the enemy team will have a full team of Titans, and you'll wonder where they came from. And it's because shooting Titans gives you so much points towards your own, and it also just, it helps you get rid of a massive threat on the map, and it's really, really important. Much like right now, I'm playing as Scorch, and Scorch is a guy that, he's kind of a brick wall of defense. He has all these wonderful tools. And I got out at this moment because I noticed there was only 2 Titans on the enemy team, and I thought maybe Scorch could do some stuff, and then maybe I could pick up some pilots. But then I realised if I let an Auto Titan run around, he's 10 points to the enemy, and the Auto Titans are pretty stupid, so I can't let that happen. And then lo and behold, I get grappled by this guy. I try and punch him on a Scorch, which is stupid. Use your flame shield, Chris. What are you doing? He gets on my back. I deploy the smoke, and then I don't know what that was. Maybe he had a quiet... He must have had the silent rodeo skill on, because I got notified really late and then I just kind of died. But back into the fray, spraying my vault across map, throwing my arc grenades, getting in there, probably going to be popping on my... Oh no, more people. Is he going to punch me? He's going to punch me. That needs to fucking go. There's an easy fix for this. There's 2 easy fixes for what you just witnessed there. The first one is, if you are taking damage, melee doesn't work. You cannot melee when you take damage. Fix that shit mechanic. All these pussies that don't shoot first and punch instead can go fucking play COD. Well, you can't even say that anymore. COD fixed it. Although I don't know if Infinite Warfare warped it back. It probably did. I have no idea what the state of that one-hit melee bullshit is, but it shouldn't exist. It should be 2 hits at front, 1 hit from behind. And then all these scrubs that don't know how to aim their fucking gun can't get a single kill, like it should be. But look at the score, 448 to 500. We lost. You know, it happens. I could have called in a Titan and potentially changed the tide of that battle. But what do you do in those situations? You know, the easiest solution is to think like, well, if I'd had somebody with me, they could have helped us turn the tides, and a lot of time that's all it takes. But if you look, I think people even quit on our team because people don't like losing, and don't get me wrong, I hate losing, but I'm not going to stop. You can kill me 100 times, I'm not leaving until I feel like I'm making a difference. Because I just don't really care. I want to win. I want to overcome the odds. And I didn't see how our team performed, but I'm going to guess it wasn't the best, as I chased this tone down, and he kills himself by, I think, moving off the edge of the map. There's a dude over there doing whatever he's doing, and unfortunately he gets hit by my weapon, and then I get to escape. And they've patched the escape pod now, so instead of being this stupid sit and duck that always dies and never gets away, when the last surviving member of the team gets on this, it actually leaves, which I think is a really good fix. But what were those numbers there? My team didn't seem like they were in double figures. I don't know if the other team were in double figures, but I feel like I couldn't have done much more other than having a really good game. And I didn't have a really good game. I had a pretty shit game. But I pushed and I pushed and I grit my teeth and I made it work. And that is one of the downsides of playing solo. You know, you're going to lose your sanity. You're going to have those moments where you just, no matter what you do, you lose. And this can happen still when you do it with people. But I suppose it just highlights the greater issue, doesn't it? How do you make a game where everybody can compete regardless of the numbers that they run with and still feel like it's possible? I don't know if we can, and I'm curious if you guys have any suggestions. But thank you for watching, and you take care now.